Fog Football back with your latest transfer footballing news, because it is the Fog Football channel, so you'd tend to expect that. But we do have big news. Duke and Abada linked with mega moves. Of course, we're edging closer to the end of the season. The split will be decided after this weekend. I mean, we basically know who's won the league. We know who's getting second. But I guess the rest of the league is up for grabs, so it's entertaining that way. I think there is a few teams, though, like Motherwell, who have just nothing to play for. So we'll see how it goes at the weekend. But let's kick ourselves off with the transfer news. But make sure you check out the SPFL review show. Give a lot of hype to Dunfermline, of course. They won League One. Who else? Well, Peterhead, they're doing. Who else? I'm trying to think. Still and Albion are doing a good job, I guess. And whoever else, man. Airdrie. I thought Airdrie beat Falkirk. Turns out they didn't. So a bit of a botch there. And Dundee drew. So Queen's Park have the dream still alive. Anyway, into the news. Ajax are positioning themselves to be in the hunt for Celtic winger Lille Abada this summer, with the Dutch Giants monitoring the Israel international's situation. Now, I rate Abada. He's still very young. He's nowhere near his prime. I think Celtic could easily get over 15 million. Probably not much more than 20. I think what hinders Abada is he doesn't start all that often. He is more used off the bench. But then again, his numbers are good. He's got over 10 goals and assists each, doesn't he? I think this season, which is fucking really good. Like, I mean, like I praise Ryan Kent a lot for obvious reasons, but his numbers have always been shite. And there's the truth. Anyway, though, how much would Celtic get from Ajax? I don't know, but of course there's been a lot of talk about Ajax signing Bassi and Van der Voort coming out and burying him, saying, oh, the quality of the league's shite. So maybe Bassi not performing at Ajax, even though most times when you look at Ajax, he's in the team, and if surely he wasn't performing, they wouldn't play him. But maybe Ajax are going to sign Lille Abada here. So how much? I'll go for 17 million. That's my prediction, if it hams. Rangers, though, have emerged as a potential option for Jose Cifuentes, with the Ecuador midfielder in the final year of his contract with MLS outfit LAFC. I would be real, I've never heard of this guy, but it is what it is. Rangers need as much players as they need for as they can get next season just to do something. But Kevin Nisbet, he's a man. He's in form. Sheffield United, Blackburn, Middlesbrough and Preston all want him. Of course, he rejected It was Millwall he rejected in January, wasn't it, for like 2.5 million. Very weird. Surprised he didn't go, but you know he didn't go, and he's hit the ground running again. He's getting loads of goals. Of course, scoring against Hearts in the Edinburgh Derby was a really good thing for him. But here we go. The man of the hour, Duke. Aberdeen striker Lewis Duke Lopez is being monitored by English Championship winners Burnley, with Blackburn Rovers and Hull City also keen. I tell you what, Aberdeen, right? I rate Duke. I'd take Duke at fucking Rangers, but they need to get their money's worth, because, of course, Benfica are getting 50% of any future transfer fee, which, you know, obviously we can do your math. If they get 5 million, Aberdeen get 2.5. So there's no point Aberdeen settling for like 2 million. They're only going to get 1 million for a guy that, I mean, Duke right now has to be one of the most informed players in the league, up there with Furuhashi and whoever else you want to throw in the mix. Like, he has to be, man. The guy scores every game for Aberdeen. He's been critical for their push for third. How much could they get for Duke? I mean, I genuinely think they could get like 6-7 million if he say he continues it to the end of the season. I think they'll get around that, and I think the bargaining chip will be, well, hold on, we're only getting 50%, so they won't really be willing to sell him. But I mean, I could see him wanting to go to Burnley, but the likes of Hull and Blackburn Rovers, would he really go to them knowing that Aberdeen is going to get European football next season, guaranteed group stage football? I don't know. I don't think he would personally. But also Everton have sent scouts to check out Aberdeen striker. Fuck Everton. Oh ho, Everton enter the mix. Everton want Duke, so. But Everton could be in the Championship as well, so that'll be interesting to see. Again, when you're getting Premier League clubs linked to him, Premier League clubs, even though, like I said, some could be Championship, but they have to, man. They have to get a good fee for him. Dutch defender Jay Adise is back on the Aberdeen transfer wish list, having shelved a January pre-contract move for the go-ahead Eagles player after Jim Goodwin's sacking. Boom. Hearts have given striker James Wilson Permission to talk to English Premier League clubs with a fee due if he rejects the Tynecastle deal. And Ryan Stevenson says, Hearts are a complete mess. An interim manager, Stephen Naismith, needs to realise third place is the be-all and end-all. He's right. I mean, that's the whole reason they sacked Nielsen, so I don't understand why. Honestly, Hearts are fucking went for the third best team in the league, guaranteeing European football every season, because, like, they realistically should have been, to a fucking, like, I mean, I would almost call it a crisis, right? I know they're fourth and they've still a decent chance of getting third if Naismith can turn it around. But how can the higher-ups, right, be saying, oh, third, we have to get third, it's the reason we sacked Nielsen, and then Naismith comes in and says, we don't really have to get third. That's a mess, right? Whatever way you spin it. Hibs are set to be boosted by the return of Rocky Bajuri going into the final few games of this season. The defender has been sidelined with an ankle problem since January. Is this the final bit of news? You know what? See that Joey Barton thing? I'm not even going to read that because that's a separate fid. I could rant on Joey Barton for 5 minutes. He was the fucking shitest player, man, Rangers could ever have brought in. You bring him in, he thinks he's going to stroll the league, and he was fucking Scott Brown's bitch for the one game he played, like, from the old firm, but aye, Joey Barton, that has to be the worst. People can talk about Ramsey, right? And see, as bad as Ramsey was, like, I know it, right? It's always going to be remembered, right, that Aaron Ramsey missed that Europa League final penalty, right? But at least he had the fucking cojones to step up and take it. See if Ramsey scores that penalty, it's looked at as, oh, fucking, and Rangers win. Rangers paid 2 million, right? I know he didn't get all the goals in the world, but Aaron Ramsey, he contributed to the Europa League victory for Rangers. Now again, yeah, it's big what ifs, blah blah blah. It didn't happen. Still greeting about that match in May that happened almost a year ago, right? But Joey Barton was fucking shite and offered nothing, like nothing. Biggest waste of money out, man. And then he goes back down south and he starts slabbering about Scottish football. And now he's trying to say that if he managed like Aberdeen or Hearts or Hibs, he'd win the league. Fucking no chance. He wouldn't win the league with Rangers. That shows you the gap. See the gap between those three and Rangers, let alone like Celtic right now with Ange. Joey Barton could do hee-haw, man. He fucking haw. But until next time, leave your thoughts down below. I'll make a vid on that later. Peace.